Well, something smells rotten, and this time it's not Michelle Malkin after a stint on Fox News. It's the Wilk Report. I'm Michael Wilk, coming to you from Cleveland, Ohio, with a bit of reporting on some shenanigans with regards to the Rotten Tomatoes audience score, which remains frozen at 86%, this despite fluctuating tomato meter going down as critics rip into the rise of Palpatine, aka the rise of Skywalker, or rather a Palpatine who usurps the name Skywalker. Yeah, so let me go ahead and show you today's version of Rotten Tomatoes for the rise of Skywalker. Now, if you see right here, tomato meter with 394 total count, 55% fresh. Audience score with 44,556 verified ratings remains at 86. Now that's kind of bizarre because you would expect that with an increase in people reviewing the movie that there would be fluctuations. But we haven't really seen any of that. We have seen that with the tomato meter, with critics, as the number of verified critics goes up, the rotten meter, the tomato meter goes down. So let's go ahead to Reddit, where it says, from the Hail Corporate Reddit group, Rotten Tomatoes has frozen Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker's audience score at 86%. Disney is paying Rotten Tomatoes to freeze audience score at 86%. Now, this is pretty interesting because if you look at the archives, 86% at 6,231 reviews, 86% at 9,628. Still the same at 18,736. At 22,198. And now at 44,556. So yeah, something feels wrong. It never budged. Never saw this for any movie before. There's a shitload of money riding on this, and we can't calculate the score ourselves. It's all in the back end. This user has been using Rotten Tomatoes for around a decade and put at least 1,000 reviews in. In the comments, it's pointed out that Fandango's CEO, the owner of Rotten Tomatoes, is a former Disney executive who's worked there for 16 years. It's more than possible he's helping Disney out for damage control. Well, yeah, because Los Angeles Times, as of October 2012, so it's not 16 years, it's been about something like 7 years now, going into 8. Fandango names ex-Disney executive Paul Yanover as new president. Fandango, the fastest-growing online movie ticket company based in Los Angeles, has named former Disney digital executive Paul Yanover to the newly created position of president. Yanover will report to Nick Lehman, president of digital for NBC Universal Entertainment Networks and Integrated Media. He will lead the company's overall business strategy, including growing its original content offerings across mobile, TV, and the web, and expanding partnerships with studios, Fandango said in a statement. So yeah, this was back in 2012. But let's go ahead and... yeah, so let's see if we can actually go ahead and find this. But yeah, so this is interesting because, again, tomato meter has actually gone down. Yesterday when I uploaded my video, tomato meter was at 57%. Now it's dropped down a couple of percentage points to 55% as more critics have weighed in. But the audience scored, despite the increasing number of verified ratings, has remained static at 86%, which leads me to wonder, what is going on here? Because something is rotten in the state of Denmark, and this time it's not Ann Coulter after savagely trashing pretty much anyone to the left of Adolf Hitler. So what do you think? Do you think Rotten Tomatoes is pulling some shenanigans here? because Disney is basically counting on Rise of Skywalker to salvage its Star Wars prospects, because they plopped down $4 billion, but so far, even though they've technically made that money back, but they haven't really made a very good return on that investment, because the movies have been consistently losing money at the box office with each successive release. The Force Awakens opened up to over $2 billion opening box office global totals after it finished its run, but it didn't quite come close to the inflation-adjusted totals for the original Star Wars. And I suspect a large part of that had to do with advanced ticket sales and people wanted to go see another Star Wars movie for the first time in over a decade. So, that's probably what drove the numbers up. But then you had The Last Jedi, which alienated half the audience, pulled in just over $1 billion. I think the number was like something like 1.23 or $1.32 billion at the global box office. And right now it looks like The Rise of Skywalker may not clear $1 billion, because it's only had like a very weak opening weekend compared to its immediate predecessor. Solo actually lost money at the box office. Something tells me that we're seeing some shenanigans going on. Maybe because Fandango is run by a former Disney executive and Fandango owns Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, this wouldn't be the first time that Rotten Tomatoes has gotten in trouble for manipulating numbers to try and generate a false score for a movie. So what do you think is going on here? I don't know. I'm not given to pushing conspiracy theories or rumors. Just reporting on what's out there. I honestly don't know without more information. But this does seem kind of strange because, again, as you've seen in my previous video, Tomato Meter has actually changed. Critic score has gone down a couple of percentage points as the number of reviews increases. Meanwhile, the audience score remains frozen at 86%, this despite a sharp increase in the number of reviews from just yesterday. Or for that matter, when it first went ahead and started getting audience reviews. So what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you, because I have no idea what's going on. If you like what you've heard and you want to hear more, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon and select all to receive notifications whenever we upload new content. Like this video, share it. If you want to help support the channel, keep the lights on, and help us bring you more content, head over to our Patreon or Subscribestar page. We can't do this without you. Until next time, this is Michael Wilk for the Wilk Report saying take care, good night, I'm out.